out there yet, but I'm a Christian guy. I'm of the Christian religion and a heavy follower of Jesus Christ. Not as heavy as I should have been, but I just wanted to give a little testimony of my own. It really starts in about September of 2017. I was in a four-wheeler accident. Luckily wasn't alone, thank the Lord. I had my good friend Logan there, as if you've seen the video of his Trans Am, the Killer Bees and Burnouts video. I was in a four-wheeler accident on the lake bottom. It was about a mile and a half off of any main road, and we had actually been out riding that day for a good hour and a half to 2 hours, something like that. But we got pretty thirsty. We were pretty parched, so we were actually heading back to his house, and on the way back, we were just riding like normal, just right around the lake bottom, and on the way up there, I guess we had missed a big trench. Looked like a washed out gully on the lake shore, and as we were coming back, I might have been going 25 to 30 miles an hour on the lake bottom, and I was coming up over a little crest as it was, and I wasn't really able to see the gully. I'd say it was about 12 foot wide, maybe 10 foot wide. And as I was coming up on it, I didn't have time to do anything. I didn't have time to hit the brakes, didn't have time to turn. So all my options was to just hammer on the throttle and pull back, because there was no jumping. It was just a curve straight down into a gully and then the other side. So I got on the throttle as hard as I could, and I pulled back, was able to make it to the other side, but fell about 2 foot short of where my back wheels should have been. So I impacted the other side of the embankment in the gully and completely clapped my suspension, bottomed the shock out, and as I came down on the four-wheeler with so much force that it actually compressed a vertebrae in my back, and I had a compression fracture in L4, I believe it was. I can put a picture up, but pretty much it was like my vertebrae looked like a crushed soda can. It wasn't square or rectangular or any shape of any normal vertebrae, and I broke my back in September of 2017, and I wasn't living as I should have been. As I was raised in church, Baptist church, my family they've had a group of gospel singing. I've been around to so many different churches, heard so many different sermons, which as a kid, it's a bit different of a story. But I was up in my teen years, in 2017, and I firmly believe in Jesus Christ and His Father, and I've seen it too many times to not believe in it. I've had too many occasions with too many things happen that the appearance of Him has been made, and so fast forward to the end of the year, December 2017. It was around Christmas time. During the downtime between September and December, all I could do was lay on my back and look straight up, and a freak accident, and it put me in a position to where it got down to me thinking, taking that accident and putting a cause behind it, a wake-up call, because I've had a bad mouth on me my whole life, and I've had a bad temper, bad anger, but like I said, fast forward to December of 2017, my Nana had invited us to a church play, and it was a portion of it was Heaven's Gates. It was a wonderful, wonderful church play, Christmas play, and it's like, every time I step through the church doors at that point, you get that feeling. It's that doubt feeling. It was the doubt feeling for me, because as I was younger, I thought I was saved, and I thought I had got saved actually during upward basketball. For you, if you know what that is, but I wasn't, and I had my doubts, and I told myself I was saved, but I had major doubts, that I would push away. But December the 17th, 2017, I asked Jesus to come into my heart, and since then my life has been a whole different life. I'll never forget that day as long as I live. That's my most memorable day. And so anyways, during the play, I was hearing God say, depart from me, and those words just spoke volumes to me that night. And what's crazy is the pastor of the church, you could tell the Spirit was working through him, and he wasn't even in the play. He was just on the sidelines like us, and these people did such a wonderful job on this Christmas play, and this pastor felt the Spirit that night, and I could just see it in his face. And between him and watching this play and hearing God say, depart from me, it really touched me that night, and my heart just flying out of my chest. I know I felt this many a times. Could have been my last chance, but that night I looked over at my mom, because she was sitting right there, and said, Mom, I gotta be saved, and marched right up to the altar right in the middle of the play and asked the Lord to come into my heart. And the whole church, it seemed, everybody was just rejoicing and so happy for me, and seeing the work of the Lord go down right there, it was just amazing. So, fast forward a little time later, I couldn't tell you when, but whenever you've accepted the Lord into your life, and you start trying to live right, the devil, his appearance is made. Many a times his appearance was made, and many times I would go to prayer and just push the devil away. But at some point, I'm sure slowly, I started letting him in, and let the Lord down, and I just, my mouth got back on me. My anger came out of me a lot more. Frustration, my temper. I worked a pretty rough job for 3 years at a factory, a hot, steamy factory, making corrugated fiberboard, which is just big boxes. but it was a very stressful job, and it got the best of me, well, the worst of me, I should say. And the devil was getting what he wanted. He got that part of me, and I just slowly stopped reading my Bible. It seems like I only went to prayer when something was wrong, and that's not right. You gotta come to the Lord in all times, in good times, bad times, sad times, happy times. Go to the Lord all the time. When you're happy, thank Him for your blessings. Thank Him for everything. And I was failing to do that, and so I got with my girlfriend Abby, and mind you, I was single for 6 years at one point. Felt like I knew myself better than I knew anybody else, and I thank the Lord for that, though. I really took that time and really got to learn myself. Not all the greatest things about myself, but towards the end of my relationship status of being single was when God really made His appearance in my life, and I feel like that whole time everything just led up to that moment, because I was living wild. And but anyways, I met Abby on New Year's of 2019, and since then we've been together. We've had our ins and outs and our faults, but she's been really good to me, and I thank the Lord for her every day now. And she is a wonderful woman for me, and I feel like I've been a wonderful man for her. I have let her down, though. I've let her down, and the way I've treated her all the time hasn't been the best. Vice versa, we've both failed, but we've hung in there. But starting in February of 2020, we had a baby boy, Camden Kai Trammell Green, and I was living in sin at that point, and we are not married. We're not married yet, and I know a lot of people frown upon that, and Camden wasn't born planned. He wasn't made planned. So but fast forward to the end of that year, a day after my birthday, we had our second little boy, Casey. So we've got our hands full. I love my family more than anything, but I don't exactly know what brought it on. I'm just assuming the arguments that we would get in, the stress of 2 kids, and Abby full-time mom and me full-time FedEx driver, and the arguments and stress in between was getting the best of me for a long time. It's got the best of both me and Abby, but I just knew I wasn't where I should be, in my life with God, and I wanted to make a change. I felt as like I needed to make a change, because I wasn't where I should be. My mouth was pretty much at its all-time worst. My anger, my temper was very bad. So we started live streaming a church on Facebook on our TV each Sunday, and we sit and we have our Bibles, and it's like we're in the church. it's hard to take both of the kids into church. You know, it is very stressful. It's something that, you know, I do pray about and want to, you know, eventually take that step forward. But we do endure a sermon from Sunday school to, you know, the actual sermon of the day on Sunday, and I still need to really make a habit of Sunday morning, Sunday night, and Wednesday night. Currently it's Wednesday, so we will hopefully be watching it tonight. But I started this YouTube because I've been inspired by many over time to chase what you want to do. You know, I still have to, you know, work a job to make money, to pay bills and all that. You know, you can't just drop that. But this being on the side, I wanted to start a YouTube channel of just pretty much an everyday life, maybe a few vlogs here and there, you know, some interesting things. I felt more as if I wanted to live an interesting life. That way I could pull my camera out more and record things, which you can, but, you know, I started focusing on that too much. And I was realizing where I was putting in more time doing everything else than I was with God, and that really has touched me to strive to want to do better in that area. So, but a guy that went to my high school, he graduated a good few years ahead of me, ran a YouTube channel called Pro Cut Lawn Care, and I was an avid watcher of his channel. I loved it. He made it so interesting, you know. And somehow this weekend I just started watching his channel, and, you know, he's got his own testimony. He went through, I feel, similar to what I am here recently. But in his testimony, the way he spoke was me. Down to every last little detail, I feel like touched me. And Abby did point out, she said, that is you. And it really spoke to me. And I took it in yesterday. And I feel like my mind, you know, and myself, I just tried to push it to the side. But I just watched a lot more of his videos that day, and that just stuck in the back of my mind. So last night I hit my knees and I prayed hard, and well, today, you know, just that praying like that alone can, you know, make you feel like a different person. And today I woke up, you know, pretty tired, as always. You don't want to wake up, you don't want to go to work, but you got to. I got too many things to live for to be lazy, and I thank God for my work ethic and my will to want to work, to strive to do better. But you gotta have God too. But anyways, get to work today. You know, for the past week, I don't know, I've been driving a step van, which is what I want to be in, but the back door has been broke. So all last week I had to load that truck from the front sliding door, and boy was it rough. And since I've been working at FedEx, and the better I've gotten, the more work that's been put on me that I can handle, I tend to get frustrated and run my mouth and blame everybody else, you know, and go about the situation just horrible. And so this morning I get to work, and it was going to be the same routine. I was waiting on my brakes to get fixed, and you know, I was just going to deal with it. You know, the prayer I said the night before, I asked the Lord with my temper and my frustration and put that energy to him and good vibes all around. So I was coming into work, was going to deal with it, and my manager came up to me and he said, "Hey man, would you like to drive your truck today? The brakes are fixed." And I said, "Shoot, yeah, I love that truck. It's a solid truck." So still had to load the truck, but I was going to be able to load it through the actual back door. So I go and hop in the truck and, pull it in. Everything's good. A couple managers helped me out loading it because I had to wait a little bit for the traffic in the building to clear out so I had some room to pull back in there and load. So it did. Got my truck loaded. Come to find out I don't have a dolly. There's no extra one, which is key for my day because I have so many stops to where I need a hand truck to be able to help me out, to proficiently do it and save a lot of time. So I got a little frustrated. I'd already forgot my wallet at the house today too, so I didn't have my gas card and I needed diesel. So a couple things already on my plate. I can feel the tension building, and I was on the interstate and I just prayed and breathed. I just had to breathe and pray. So all was pretty well after that. I just threw on a podcast, Dusty Slay, and if you haven't listened to Dusty Slay, go check him out. He's a Christian man as well. Love the guy. But I get almost to my route and I'm told, "Hey man, there's a whole nother cart of packages here at the terminal." I'm proud of myself for how I have acted today, and I feel like after today I will have had a breakthrough with everything. Nonetheless, there will be times where I just have to control myself and bring myself down a notch, and these are just the little things, guys. Like these are such small things. I'm just such a routine guy and a particular guy that it messes with me just a little more. But so I handled the situation well, and Abby brought my wallet out to me because she was heading down to my route anyways, to her mama's, and so I got diesel, and later on I had to meet up with them, which when we were loading my truck in the first place, I did ask if that was the last cart that he was on, and he said yeah. So it isn't technically my fault. I should have went over there and looked anyways, but either way, all this happens for a reason. It seems like each day I want to go in and just have a nice smooth day, and I pray the Lord just watches over me today and just sends good vibes my way. And it seems like those days are the ones that are the tests. Everything can be great, and those days come, but they're to be expected anymore from me. So I was before I met up with Abby, I was on the phone with her and was just talking about Cody's testimony from his YouTube channel and just how it had touched me and the way I was feeling. I just had this eerie feeling this morning, trying to contain myself from getting too frustrated, and I was about to turn off the highway to get to my route, and as I'm on the phone with her telling her that, my mom calls. So I pick up the phone, and I'm on the verge of breaking down crying as it is, and my mom calls. So if you guys knew my mom, you would only know that right there means a ton. And So she called, hey son, what are you doing? And I said, I'm battling my demons, Mom. And I just went on to explain to her the same thing. But this explanation, I was in tears. I just broke down, crying and telling her about all this, and she ends up crying, and telling me that how proud she is of me to be able to, to admit to where I know I'm wrong and where I'm living wrong. I just wanted to share this testimony because, and there's still so much, to happen. I do believe, this was just over a little thing. But I thank the Lord that He was able to work with me today and work in me and show me that life is good. Life is good with Him. And so that's not all though, folks. There's more to come, and as long as you pray and get right with the Lord, everything's fine. Things are going to happen. You still may lose your temper. I'd say, I will. But my biggest thing is my mouth and the curse words. And after today, I will be able to catch myself. I don't feel the urge. I don't feel the urge to cuss. And prior to today, I did, but I just wanted to share this little testimony. I hope this video came out alright, and to just put that out there, and hope that can, maybe help somebody like Cody's helped me. And any support, from YouTube or Facebook or wherever is greatly appreciated. I'm just wanting to put content out. I love creating videos. I love being able to show interesting things because myself, I like watching, other interesting things. But thank you guys for the ones who have showed love, and hopefully the ones to come. I'm really anxious to see where this does go, but so just pray for me. I'll pray for you. Pray for my family. I'll pray for your family. I hope that the Lord bestows many blessings on everybody and carries them through their days. But that was my testimony, and I appreciate the ones who listen. Southern Living out.